We're at the Special Education Planning table. This short video presentation will help you prepare for your meeting with the school to discuss the results of your child's special education evaluation. The evaluation results meeting will follow either an initial evaluation or a re-evaluation. The purpose of the initial or first evaluation is to determine whether a child meets state criteria for eligibility and, as a result, needs special education and related services. The purpose of each re-evaluation is to determine whether the child is in need of continuing special education services. In both cases, the evaluation plan is developed after discussion between school district staff and parents. The parents must receive the results of the evaluation within 30 school days of the date that the parent signed the agreement for the evaluation to begin. Schools usually schedule a meeting with the parents to discuss the evaluation results, but a phone call or other type of conference may work as well. But however the discussion is held, PACER suggests that discussing the evaluation and, for eligible children, developing the IEP, the Individualized Education Program, that these be two separate meetings. This gives you an opportunity to be sure that you understand and agree with the evaluation report before moving on to the next step, the development of an IEP. Evaluation involves gathering information to understand the educational needs of a child and then determine whether the child meets state disability criteria for eligibility or if the child continues to need special education services. Because your child's education program will be based on the evaluation results, it's important to be sure that the evaluation is complete and accurate. Evaluation should identify the things your child does well, in addition to those that are difficult. Sometimes the results can be difficult to hear. Parents like to think the best about our children, what they are good at and interested in, how they are making progress. This evaluation report should include the positive, but the emphasis will also include areas of need. Children are only eligible for services if they have a disability and have educational needs that result from this disability. Perhaps a good way to think about it is this: it's important that I focus on my child's needs at school. I will expect that this meeting will emphasize my child's disability, and we will be discussing his or her areas of need. Who will be at the meeting? In addition to the parents, the meeting will include people from the school, as listed on this slide. Note that the group must include someone qualified to interpret the evaluation results. The evaluation report will be called a draft. Because parents are part of the team, the report will not be final until the school and parents have met to discuss and finalize the results. So as you can see, this will be an important meeting, and it's important to understand the evaluation report. There are basically two ways to go about this. One way is to ask your school contact person, who's usually your child's IEP case manager or the person who coordinated the initial evaluation, for a copy of the draft evaluation report to read before the meeting. It's helpful to review the results, realizing that the language in the report may change after the team discussion. The school is not required to share the draft with you before the meeting, but sometimes schools are willing to do so. Often, however, parents will wait for the meeting to read and review the report with the education team. You can take notes on the draft report and participate in the discussion. In any case, be sure to take home the draft report and reread it carefully, asking yourself the question on the next slides. The special education evaluators tried to capture an accurate and complete picture of your child at school. As you look at the report, does it tell you what your child is good at, what his or her strengths are in areas such as reading or math, but also getting along with others, sports, hobbies, or friendships, what his or her interests are, what your parent concerns are in regards to education, in what areas your child is learning more slowly than his or her peers, are any accommodations necessary? Be sure to ask questions or highlight any areas you may think are not complete. It is a good idea to read the report from start to finish. Then ask yourself, does this seem like an accurate or true picture of my child? Do I see the same needs and strengths when I think about how my child functions on a day-to-day basis? Does anything in the report surprise me? Is anything of significance left out? Does the report accurately reflect my concerns as a parent? Can I easily see what is an opinion and what is a fact? When I receive report cards from regular education, are the results similar? Be sure to ask questions or highlight any areas you may think are not accurate. Receiving results of an evaluation may lead to questions. For example, what does a score of 54 mean on that test? What does average mean? Why is this task so difficult or easy for my child? Be sure to ask questions. If you do not agree with the evaluation report because you don't think it's complete or accurate, there are options to resolve your disagreement. Ask questions to be sure you understand what a statement or test result really means. Once you understand fully, you may agree. Ask if something is an opinion or a fact. If it's an opinion, ask that it be labeled as such. If a test result seems too high or too low, ask what other tests could be given to verify the results. If an area of need seems to be missing, ask what assessment could be given in that area so the results of the evaluation are complete. Ask that your concerns be added to the report. Ask that information you bring from other evaluators could be added to the report. Ask if something can be reworded so that you can agree with the statement. If, through using the above questions, your disagreement is resolved, the process of developing or updating your child's IEP can move forward. If, even after this discussion, you continue to not agree, you may consider asking for an independent educational evaluation at school district expense. If you disagree with the results of an evaluation, you have the right to request an independent educational evaluation, or IEE, at public expense. If the school agrees to the request, the IEE is conducted by qualified examiners not employed by the school. The school district must provide you with a list of names of possible examiners and provide the evaluation at no cost to parents. When the school arranges for the provision of an IEE, the evaluation must be accomplished under the same criteria that the school district uses for its evaluations. The school may not unreasonably delay an IEE, and it must consider the results of the IEE when determining eligibility or developing your child's IEP. If the school district denies a request for an IEE at public expense, the district may not simply say no. They must also initiate a due process hearing to show that their evaluation was appropriate. If the result of the hearing is that the school's evaluation is appropriate, you still have the right to obtain an IEE at your own expense. When the IEE is complete, ask for a written report. Be sure that any recommendations for services or specific kinds of programs are in writing. When you receive the report, contact your child's school to arrange an IEP meeting. At the end of the evaluation meeting, the team determines if they have an accurate evaluation and if the child qualifies for special education. If the child does qualify for the first time and the parents agree that the child needs special education services, an IEP team, which includes you, the parents, will meet to develop the special education program for your child. This may be a continuation of the evaluation or a separate meeting. If your child is eligible for the first time, but you, the parents, do not wish the child to receive services, at least at this time, no IEP will be developed until you agree that the child needs services. If this is a reevaluation and your child continues to qualify, your child's IEP will be updated to include the new information from the evaluation. If your child does not qualify, you may wish to discuss Section 504 eligibility and accommodations. For more information about Section 504, call Pacer Center or ask your school district. For more information, or if you have any questions about this presentation, feel free to contact your school district's Director of Special Education, Pacer Center, or the Minnesota Department of Education. Thank you for watching this video, and as I just said, be sure to call Pacer if you have any more questions.